Hello, my lovely collective. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Collective, we have the unseen, the underworld, the seed, and the siren. Well, I mean, the underworld is just kind of like the, like the underside of it. But there's also just this idea of being aware that I don't know, I just kind of get this idea of like gardening, right? Like gardening, and there being this idea of like, I know that I'm gonna like this is gonna be planted in some nasty soil, but somehow that seems to be exactly the thing that needs to happen. I don't know. I'm thinking of the story of Oedipus, right? The Oedipus complex, like the self-fulfilling prophecy. But it's almost as though the self-fulfilling prophecy is somehow opening your eyes to some sense of calling. Okay. Collective. let's do clarifiers. I mean, the unseen is oftentimes like dreams, aberrations, otherworldly experiences. And everything about that feels it's just like so Oedipus complex to me, because it's like, like the prophecy is told that this is what's going to happen, and then in an attempt to prevent that thing from happening, they send their son off, like your son's gonna kill you and da 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 da. So that you send your son off, and then your son comes back. He comes back and he sleeps with his mom and he kills his father, and you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, and the prophecy came true because he didn't have a clue who they were. You know what I mean? And it was like that foresight was like that, like giving somebody that, like that foresight, all that did was foster the fear that like created the very scenario. I don't know how this is playing out for y'all, but this feels like one of those things where it's like you saw the writing on the wall, and because you saw the writing on the wall, you were going to do everything you could to avoid it. But then when you did everything that you could to avoid it, you ensured it in the end. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, but I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, because the unseen, the siren, like in real life, it calls you to your death, the moon and the Knight of Cups, but I don't feel like there is a call of death. I feel like there is almost the sense of like the fulfilling of a prophecy. But in the fulfilling of the prophecy, it's almost as though you've found yourself in the moon is the idea of intuition. The Knight of Cups is the idea of just usually kind of like a gentle offer. It doesn't even have to be like a romantic offer. It feels gentle. It feels calm. It feels safe. I don't. I don't know. You know, because sometimes saying, like, if you are like, I'm like sending some like 5-page paragraph to somebody about all the things, like, you're wasting your breath, and you're wasting your energy, and you're putting more into something than like it deserves. um well, I guess that's, I didn't want to say deserves, more into it um than it requires. I'll say that, I guess, because when you've already said everything that needs to be said, there's nothing more to be said, which means that you don't really think that that person has anything valuable to say. And the whole point of engaging in a conversation is because you do, in fact, think that that person has something valuable to say. You know, and if you are engaged in that conversation, and you value what that person has to say, then you hold space for that in a calm way, not in a way that's like coming at somebody with all these things. Like, and if there's something that you're dealing with that has that energy of like of an aggressiveness, I just like it's true. I will always be an advocate for casual, being casual, because I think that, and I don't mean casual in the sense of careless, because careless and casual are not interchangeable, but casual offers a space to say there is a conversation that needs to be had. And I don't know everything that this will entail. I'm going to have to feel my way through it. What does it have to do with the Oedipus story? I don't know. Let's do clarifiers. Let's do more. I want more from this deck, honestly. The Queen of Swords. The Five of Cups. Well, there's no more confusion. I don't know. I feel like there's a clearing of confusion, but with the clearing of the confusion, it's almost like well, nobody really knows what's happening. Nobody really knows what they're doing. Nobody really knows. I don't know. I just almost feel like this, like this Oedipus, like everybody gets led to this, like this prophecy, this thing, but like now nobody knows, like, well, now what do you do? The prophecy came true. Well, now what? Well, now we understand how it played itself out. Now we understand, but what do we do with that information now? Right? That's a real feel. That's a real question. Okay. So I don't know how that would play out for you. You know, if it's a relationship, this is what's it, Taylor Tomlinson, can you say I have self-fulfilling prophecy? Because it's just kind of like one of those things where you speak something over yourself and then you end up experiencing that, and then it's like, well, you know, like, are you surprised that that's what you experienced when that's what you spoke over that experience? You know, if it's a relationship, you know, and it's like, it's somebody who's like, well, you're going to cheat on me, you know, and then that person cheats on you. Or are you surprised that was your only point of focus, was like that this person was going to cheat on you? That's like all you're feeding them is some concept of infidelity. You know what I mean? Or if you're with you know, a company and they're constantly, I don't know what, like, they're changing the schedules, they're moving management, they're shifting everything around, and you're just kind of like, I don't really even know, you know, like we all saw the writing on the wall. We all knew that this was going to come crumbling down around us, but we couldn't do anything about it because it was corporate mandated, or the owner is a dick, or you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, and so you feed into that, and then you create that scenario, you become a part of that scenario. I don't know, there's something, but then once you do and the prophecy is fulfilled, there's a new direction to go, and it's one that doesn't seem quite as confusing, because this, I mean, the unseen, I mean, let's be real, if it's not like a tangible right there in front of you, like, it feels confusing. We all ask for signs. If you're watching a tarot video, you ask for signs. You know, you're like, come on, universe, tell me what's good. You know what I mean? Like, tell me what I need to do next. You know, and I feel like, but like sometimes that's confusing. And sometimes it's confusing when you feel like, so you mean to tell me that I just like self-fulfilled I just Oedipus complexed my life. And now I'm where I'm supposed to be, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. Why, like, what, do you have to find a new job? Do you start over? You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, why I spent all this time in this relationship, and now I'm not in this relationship. So like, what am I supposed to, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Like, Justice, the Two of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. The Two of Cups is the idea of a couple that's separated. You know, like knowing that they won't be separated forever, but just kind of like longing for that like sense of reunion with that person. I don't know if this involves another person. I mean, this feels like it involves a great deal of people, because like a prophecy, like a fulfilling of a prophecy, takes a tribe, right? And I just kind of feel like this idea of like you went through this point of separation, and it came, you know, on the efforts of many people. Many people put an effort into this because they wanted to keep you from your new beginning. But it's like the prophecy was spoken, and every attempt that they made to keep it from happening ensured that it would happen. This is interesting. I don't know, you guys. Definitely, if you want to share, please do. I'd love to know. The Chariot, the Moon, and Temperance. Give the Moon twice. I don't know, I just feel like this less tragic version of the Oedipus complex, obviously. I mean, but, you know, maybe tragic in its own right, I don't know. But I mean, again, it just feels like there's this sense of movement. There's a following of your intuition. You know, there's a bringing of balance, that has a sense of like, this is what's supposed to be. This is what was meant to be all along. I don't know. It just feels so much bigger than like any of the the facets of like what people did along the way that led to it. It's almost like this, but like it was spoken, and like, do you not see how powerless you are when it is spoken and you attempt to undo it at every turn? And if you're somebody who feels like you've had people who are just trying to trip you up at every turn, in an attempt to prevent what is meant to be, then trust that they are pushing you in the direction you are meant to go, even if it doesn't look that way, even if that's not the intention behind it. I feel like your intentions are more powerful. yeah, I mean, this is like, I don't even know what else to say to that. Okay, let's do one last card and we'll call it a read. This has been an interesting read. Okay, but this was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's not do that many. Let's do that again. Oh my god, we're just gonna keep getting stacks. Just a card, just a card. The shadow. Ugh, that's not the card that we want though. I mean, the shadow, I just feel like this idea of like moving through the shadows. To get to where it is that you're meant to be. But it's like, I don't know, like portal shadow energy. Like timeline shift. I don't know, I think of, was it Joseph who got sold into slavery by his brothers and then worked his way up into like a bomb-ass position? You know? It kind of feels like that. I don't know. It just feels like people wanted to trip you up. They wanted to get in your way, but all they did was help to ensure the very thing that they tried to prevent. And I think it's a good thing. I think that there's a sense here of just like not, like you made it through this thing, you know, like this trial, this whatever, and there's a new beginning that comes with it, like a sense of clarity. It could be that like these separations that you've experienced, you will no longer be separated from the ones that you love, you know, because I feel like, you know, if it's a personal thing and it's like family and it's like, I like what you took from me can never be replaced. But the damage that you did can be healed, right? Because you tried to prevent. There's just something so like mythical and destiny about this whole read, you know, but you know, like let the star seeds rise, you know, like let the missions begin, like whatever it is that you're passionate about, whatever it is that you feel like you're called to do those things, and trust in, you know, what calls to your spirit. And you won't know what to do every single step of the way, but I just kind of feel like the message here is that, you know, you don't need to know what you're going to be doing every single step of the way. Oops. Because sometimes speed is necessary. Trusting your intuition and moving forward. There's nothing about this that feels quick, because it feels like an entire, like a prophecy was foretold, and then the prophecy played itself out by, you know, like, you know, through the people who wanted to thwart the prophecy, and they're the ones who ensured that it happened, and now you're moving in this direction, and you're like, I just feel like this, like coming in on your intuition with the clarity and the justice and the balance of someone who people tried to thwart along the way. Okay. If this does resonate with y'all, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. And yeah, I will see y'all again soon. Bye.